I didn't know it was gonna be so loud. Oh,
Is that the theme? Is that the theme song to Countdown to Infinity?
Yeah.
Is it?
That's crazy. I need to listen to our own.
Welcome to Countdown to
Podcast.
Infinity, an Avengers podcast. We watched every single Marvel Cinematic Universe movie leading up to Infinity War and Endgame, and we're back for a brand new season. But before we
guys.
explain what this is, because we've been gone for a while, I want to we were going to introduce ourselves again. We've been gone so long, John forgot what the theme song sounded
Yeah,
like.
that's true.
I don't. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. I need to listen to this
Wow.
more often.
God. My name's Emmanuel.
Hey, what up? It's Andrew.
Hey, it's what? I don't know why I was trying to.
You wanna copy me.
Andrew. Hey, I'm John.
We're back.
Yeah. Hey guys.
We spent some time. So not only did we just come back from a break,
Just reflecting.
Yeah, we did. We had a 2-week break here.
Was it 2?
Actually, just like from
Feel like-
recording in general. Yeah.
for you guys,
Time is relative.
I had to record Patreon episodes while you guys were out on your yachts,
Yeah.
hanging out.
Recording Countdown to Skywalker.
But yeah, speaking of Countdown to Skywalker, we also left to do a Star Wars podcast, Countdown to
Right.
Skywalker.
Damn, was it a disappointment? No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my gosh! Oh boy,
That was fun.
it's odd because between Marvel and Star Wars, we're
just-
a bunch of Disney.
Yeah, we're just jerking
Bros.
Disney off. Yeah.
Bunch of Disney cucks.
We're Disney cucks over here. But this new season, I'm really excited about because we were thinking, what's the point of continuing? Life is over. Endgame is over.
The fuck?
We should just, do some kind of murder-suicide situation in the studio.
Oh shit.
Live on Patreon. You have to be a subscriber to see that. But and not to say there aren't any more Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff coming out. There's Disney Plus shows. We have even 2 movies coming out this year, which we'll talk about, of course. But in between Black Widow and the Eternals, which is exciting. But this season, we're gonna be hopping on the Flash's back and going back in time, and some of it recent, some of it really, really old, but we are going to be talking about some of the non-Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that are still Marvel. Hey, there's a lot of them out there. Were you guys surprised at
Have
how
you seen
many?
Spider-Verse?
That's true. Recent.
Ooh.
And the
Yeah, we could-
infinite possibilities. Universes, that's what it's all no.
You said the Flash though. Like, has
Same
anyone
thing.
watched the Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Crisis on
crossover?
Infinite Gertz.
Nah.
Pretty good.
No.
Oh shit.
This is a Marvel podcast.
Yeah, what is the Marvel podcast, John?
My bad.
But when we were looking at the list of non-Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, it was a little surprising because MCU has been just such a powerhouse in the last like 10 years that there's actually more non-MCU movies than there are
Right.
MCU movies.
You kind of forget about the I don't want to say they're lesser known characters, but just characters that were kind of,
Like the
basically-
X-Men.
they were done before MCU came about,
Yeah.
So
And it's exciting because Andrew, you obviously work at a comic book shop, so there's so much history behind Marvel and the things that they were doing, but their business had to change from just comic books and merchandising because it was failing. They weren't making money. They actually almost went bankrupt.
Yeah, they're getting ready to sell off all these characters.
Yeah, and they ended up licensing a ton of things because they needed it, and they had to turn to Avi Arad. I don't know how to say his name.
Avi Arad.
We're about to
Avi
talk
Arad.
about him soon here, but and he did something really amazing that is the beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in partnering with different studios and getting different superheroes, some of them not so well known. We know about Spider-Man and the success there. We'll talk about that
obviously,
too.
and the X-Men,
And
like
the X-Men,
the obvious success from like most of these ones.
and of course Venom.
Blade started the modern day
Yeah. And
superhero movie.
I think it's not. I know we're talking about non-Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, but in a way, it's still really connected because without these movies trailblazing,
eyebrow raising,
jet flying,
ring wearing,
and if you're like
chick
us,
stealing,
Dick raising.
wheeling,
cum
dealing.
inducing. Oh, you said dick raising like mine.
Yeah.
All right, you say you're first,
I said dick raising.
and then I'm gonna say cum inducing. And what happens after that?
What?
Dick raising,
I've
cum
lost
inducing,
it.
sleeping.
Dick
Sleeping.
cum inducing.
Yeah, if you have it more than a couple hours, you got to go see a physician, or
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
I
that's a
think something
problem
like
we
that.
all have.
Yeah, for sure.
No, we definitely don't have the opposite problem of that, where
Excuse me. Yeah,
we
exactly.
go to the physician because it's nanoseconds.
We go to the physician because we come too much.
Yeah. My doctor has a special one of those slow motion cameras that takes 1,000,000 frames a second so she can catch my boners.
Jesus Christ.
Because without it, there would be no proof it exists. But yeah, so that's what the podcast is. We talk about our boners, but we're really excited. Is there
And Marvel stuff.
And Marvel stuff.
It's our boners and then Marvel stuff.
Really connected. What are some of the non-Marvel Cinematic Universe properties that you guys are excited to talk about? I think you were telling me about what your favorites were, John, earlier.
Yeah,
when you were
I
a
mean,
kid.
I the characters of that haven't been done in the MCU, unless you kind of count the Netflix shows and stuff, which isn't it's not bad. Like I still like it. I love the Punisher and Daredevil. So it's really exciting to talk about. We're gonna obviously spoilers.
Yeah.
We're gonna have something to talk about today, but about that. But those are really cool characters. Like and I love that. It's kind of weird that Marvel doesn't like kind of invest more in these other I think to Marvel or Feige probably more than likely like their B characters like A C list and B list characters.
Which is funny because in a way, Iron Man, some of the characters they do bring up are B characters too. We'll talk
Yes,
about the Eternals later on, but some of them are like
I mean, that's
not
like
on
a
anyone's
The
radar.
Guardians
Yeah.
of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
No one knew who they were 10 years ago.
Yeah, they're like D list characters, and it's so crazy that Marvel doesn't do more stories with that. I know they try to give them their shows and stuff like that, but it's weird to see that, to know that they're not in the forefront, especially because like for me, like my favorite Marvel heroes are, those two heroes, like Daredevil and
You
Punisher.
like the fucked up ones. You like the crazy ones, the blind
I don't know what
ones,
it is. Is the Punisher
Murderers.
murderers.
not bad? Like now, I guess we'll get into it, but like, never mind. We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it when we talk about Punisher, which will be one of the episodes coming out. Andrew, what are some non-MCU movies that you're excited to talk about?
I would say I think Sam Raimi's Spider-Man franchise is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that really got the superhero hype rebuilt. That one and X-Men were like the movies, like the blockbusters that you had to go see back when I was younger. And so it's really cool just to see it kind of revamp. Because I meant there had been superhero movies before all this stuff, obviously. With like Dolph Lundgren's Punisher and things like that, the old Captain America movies and things. But it's pretty cool just to see kind of like now you can separate it through ages now. Where like it's almost like comic books, so like Golden Age and Silver Age and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see pre-MCU. Maybe we measure it from MCU.
Yeah.
Where like, oh, maybe the MCU ends one day, and now there's another wave of like this other superheroes die for like 10 years, and it becomes the bubble bursts or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Sam Raimi's. I was such a big fan of Sam Raimi's other works, and so to see him kind of take on a really, really big blockbuster was really, really awesome. And I mean, he did really well too. I think to an extent, even in the third one, he really just tried his best. But after a while, they become studio movies because they become too big and
We talk
too popular.
we
and
talk
stuff
about
like
it on the Star Wars podcast a little bit, but the prequels are the ones we grew up with, and in a way, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies are the beginning,
superhero movies,
and the X-Men movies, of course. But I think especially Sam Raimi's movies because they obviously spurned sequels and video games, and it was kind of the beginning of a linear storyline that you had to follow. And of course, they made I think billions of dollars and reinvigorated the box office.
Well,
in some way, you can say the first theme park built. Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Well, and I do want to acknowledge that I know Blade came out before these ones, but it wasn't as like mainstream or
yeah.
as a hit as I mean it's Guillermo del Toro did the second one and shit like that. So
Yeah.
it's pretty
The
crazy.
Punisher, 1989, didn't do it. No, I'm just
Yeah,
playing.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think I know we're gonna obviously talk about Spider-Man a lot because there's I think of the single superhero there are probably more non-MCU Spider-Man movies than any other single superhero.
Yeah, I said Sam Raimi.
Or
so
X-Men.
Sorry,
Like
Mark.
a lot of X-Men stuff.
But yeah, so but that's true. But Spider-Man and X-Men together made these. What? It's so funny. Oh fuck! You guys are eating chips, and every time you eat chips, you get so far from your mics.
Yeah.
These mics pick up a lot of
Yeah, the
shit.
crunch-
dude.
I know, but it looks so funny. It looks like you're all like, I don't know, scared of your mics or
Well,
something. Or
and also I have like really bad allergies, and so I can't breathe through my nose.
You're like gonna
And
be
so I'm
breathing
trying to not breathe super
you
hard,
doing,
like
like-
yeah, because
away
if
from
not,
the
I'm gonna be
fucking
like,
mic.
yeah,
ASMR,
and so it's really tough because I have to go away from
Midsommar.
the mark.
Midsummer. I said ASMR, but yeah, I guess that Midsummer movie.
Drew and I
Yeah.
just watched Jojo Rabbit. You haven't seen Jojo Rabbit?
I haven't, but I think we've seen the. So I think between all of us, we've seen every movie that was great this year.
Except for Little Women. I haven't seen.
I've seen Little
you saw
Women.
it. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah.
Here's what I'll say: Little Women. I know that there's like this big thing of like, you know, she should have been nominated, whatever. But she should have been fucking nominated. The movie is so dense and it's just as epic as Irish. It's a story about 4 separate people
You don't
across their
think we
entire
know?
life. It's crazy.
Everybody,
What
yeah,
Little
was like
Women
Little
means
Women is like.
Well, John's wearing his MAGA hat.
Oh
True.
shit!
So I don't know if I have to explain it to him.
Why?
but Women can be directors, John.
That's
Damn.
not what fucking hell.
Jesus, I will say one of my favorite filmmakers. I think that I
Lynn Ramsey. Lynn Ramsey is a great filmmaker. Yeah.
I think Sofia Coppola when I shoot and edit.
Why are we like
No,
on
this is
this?
good. This is good because I think at some point we're gonna talk about Amy Pascal of Sony and her. She controls a lot of the superhero movies now. But
Yeah, and you brought up Jojo Rabbit. You're the one
you
who
brought
did
it up.
this.
You
did
brought
this.
it up.
Yeah, but I don't know how we got to here.
Yeah.
Oh, here's what I'll say: when I edit movies, I try as hard as I can to be like Sofia Coppola's movies. That's all I'll say.
Oh, that's actually that's a really good thing. actually. That's pretty cool.
Anyways,
Sofia Coppola's movies are
they're pretty good.
they're like the editing in that movie is
Yeah.
like whoa. In those flicks.
To bring it back to Marvel, I will say now that we're talking about these directors specifically, you talked about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. That's what I'm most excited about talking about these non-MCU movies is it's something a little freeing about knowing that all these movies only have one real vision, and that's the person making them. Not to say that doesn't happen in the MCU. There's obviously James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy are very much their own thing stylistically. And Taika Waititi, you know his movie, his handprints all over that movie. But when we talk about some of these movies, what's the name of the guy that did First Class? Michael Vaughn, is that his name?
Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn.
Vaughn.
Like you can tell, like I'm excited to see these filmmakers have almost. No, I don't want to say they have full control, but I'm excited to see these filmmakers have
I
their
can still-
handprints on these movies.
I can still hear Drew on
Eating.
yeah, exactly.
Why
on the
did you
mic.
guys pick the loudest?
I told you.
The
That's
loudest.
why I was trying to get away from
food.
these mics.
You should have
Yeah.
been. Look, you have an orange. Why
Drew
aren't you? Just,
actually just literally pushed his mic away, but I can still hear it all.
whenever
Yeah,
I
headphones.
podcast, I eat quiet things like
Bananas.
bananas, and you
You're
always
like,
know
Only bananas.
because it sounds like this. Welcome to the pot. Oh.
I knew it. I knew it.
That's what it sounds
Swallow 'em
like.
whole, baby. Yeah, that's my. I'm really excited for that. And I texted you this earlier. My favorite non-MCU movie growing up was Fantastic Four. I loved it. I thought it was so
the
much
fuck?
fun. Chris Evans,
Which
Jessica
one? The
Alba,
one-
the
the
very
one-
first one,
oh,
not
okay.
Silver Surfer.
No,
But
I thought you meant the 90s
oh no,
one.
not 2015's.
No, I said the 90s one.
Oh no! Oh yeah! No, not that one. The one with yeah.
Yeah,
Don't have
you
to make
really
fun
do
of
like
in Arrested Development.
yeah,
I thought that was fun. I played.
the Jessica Alba one.
Yeah, I played it was a video game, and I played that video game growing up. Obviously, Spider-Man was great too, and I always remember thinking that X-Men was just darker, and like I had to be in the mood to watch it as a kid to be
You
like,
needed
oh,
permission.
Get out of my mind, Charles.
and then also to be like, oh man, do I really want to think about
Segregation.
yeah, do I really want to think about? I just want to think about naked Jessica Alba running around.
That's what they used to use to sell movies.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah, that's true.
And
yeah.
that's interesting because a lot of these movies that we're going to talk about created the tropes that now people are trying to break.
I mean, Feige technically produced some of these flicks.
That's true. Wow, you didn't even try that time. Andrew.
What? What? I got away from the mic.
Oh my god.
Okay.
We heard you.
I know. Oh, I know.
Everybody did.
That's a good thing. Good thing to bring. Good ting. Oh boy. That's a
Good
good
ting.
thing to bring up, John. Was the fact that Kevin Feige started as I think studio relations was his.
Right.
He
Yeah.
gave script notes for a lot of the movies that
For
we're going to
these
talk about.
Marvel movies.
For these
funny.
Marvel movies that
He
we're
was
going to talk
Avi
about.
Arad's, I think, assistant or
Yeah.
some point. Yeah.
And so he would, talk about story, work with the big The one we're going to talk about today is Lionsgate. Like, talk to these big studios, and I think that may be why they were comfortable enough with Kevin Feige to be like, hey, maybe you can run the show because we already know you. We see you at golf. Or, they know each
We
other.
see you
I
at
know.
golf.
Oh, boy. Here's the other thing I'll say is we're not going to watch. I mean, we obviously have seen most of these movies,
Yeah.
but we aren't going to have an episode for every single one. So I know you're excited about it. I know you're excited about this new season, but we are not going to watch, for example, Sam Raimi, we're not going to watch 1, 2, and 3 and do 3 episodes on each. Maybe we will. I don't know. What do you guys think? Or do you want to just do one that can kind of encapsulate?
do
I think we can
one.
do one of each, and then if it calls for a next season,
Oh,
we're doing. Hey, we did Spider-Man 3 last season. We're doing Spider-Man 1 this season.
So
We'll keep you on the edge.
You'll just see it on the feed. You'll be like,
Yeah.
oh shit! And I don't think we're not going in any particular order. I don't think either. I think we're gonna be able to jump around a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Decades.
especially like today, we're going to be talking about a very kind of middle of the road Marvel movie.
Over a decade ago now, which
Yeah.
is weird to think about. But we also are going to be excited to talk about some new non-MCU movies. We're obviously going to have episodes for Black Widow and the Eternals, so calm down, okay? I know everyone's outside pitchforking 15 minutes into this episode because you're like, where's MCU? We're still going to talk about Black Widow and the Eternals. I'm excited to talk about Eternals because there's just probably one of the biggest risks that the MCU has taken in a long time. But we're also going to be talking about New Mutants, which I'm kind of interested in. Non-MCU. Fake news reported that it was, but it's not. Morbius.
The Vampiro.
Venom 2. Like, there are
Venom,
still
Maximum Carnage.
Marvel Cinematic Universe movies being made.
Being made, yeah.
Maybe even Venom 1.
Yeah,
just kidding.
probably. No,
Maybe.
seriously. Maybe, yeah. Sure, whatever.
Maybe even Venom.
I watched that one on an airplane. I think I told you guys, right? Like,
I will eat your arms, and then I'll eat your face.
And I'll eat your
Eddie,
ass.
your liver. And then I'll spread your cheeks.
is his
and
name
eat your
Eddie?
ass.
You sound like It, the clown.
Would you say you spread the
Yeah,
cheeks?
and then I'll spread your cheeks and eat your ass.
You sound like a mix of Freddy Krueger and It the Clown.
Oh.
What does he say?
Who?
Hello.
Yeah, I guess he does. Hi.
Hello, Eddie.
He greets you.
Hello.
Hello, Governor.
Puppet.
But yeah, any other things you want to say about our new season, our non-MCU
No,
season?
I'm actually excited because some of the again,
It's a lot
we
of
grew up with
variety.
these movies,
Well,
yeah.
Marvel has, I mean, while it's still good and the formula still works, they
You're
all
totally right.
all formulaic kind of to an extent, and so this is kind of like way more diverse. And it's sometimes it might be a slow episode because you hate
Sometimes
Fantastic
it's
Four
dumb,
too,
or like-
but sometimes you're like, damn, I really did like Ray Stevenson's Punisher because it was ultra violent, and that's what the Punisher is, or whatever the fuck.
Or maybe like you like Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Spirit of Vengeance.
I watched that one in the theaters.
Ma-
Fuck, sorry. I unplugged my mic.
Maybe you like Nicolas Cage when he bases his performance off of his pet snake.
What the fuck?
He does that in the second Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's right.
god.
He based his performance off of his snake.
Hey, I base
Yep.
all my performances
His
off of my
peen.
snake, baby.
His peen.
Fuck, I keep unplugging my mic.
Why
Wait,
do you,
yours?
how do you do that?
Yeah, my mic is good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. What's going on?
Oh man, Emmanuel's going in and out. We
I
cut him out.
unplugged it. I straight up unplugged my mic in
Yeah,
the middle
you
of
see-
it.
It was the he kept touching his mic, and then I knew it was gonna happen.
And that's what you guys can expect from this season. A lot of unprofessionalism.
a lot of technical difficulties and talking over each other and us saying baby.
a ton of
and-
technical difficulties,
the
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby.
But hey, we're gonna have a good time. And hey, it's always nice when the boys are back in town.
We're not here
Right.
for a long time.
But we're here for a
We're
short
just
time.
here.
Yeah. Well,
We're just here.
so keep a lookout for your feed, and yeah, you'll start seeing episodes next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun.
You guys have anything to plug? I gotta say some plugs.
No,
Really?
actually, I don't. Actually,
Yeah. All right. So, just real quickly, if you want early access and listen to a lot of episodes of this podcast, including a bonus episode of Countdown to Infinity, things like that, and our Star Wars podcast, and support the pod, go to patreon.com/delphinpod, DELFINPOD. You'll get a shout out on some of these episodes that are coming out, and you'll be hearing us a little bit more. I was looking online. There are already 67 Patreon exclusive episodes online right now. So if
Oh shit.
that's a lot of episodes. So if you want to listen to sometimes John and Andrew and sometimes me, go to patreon.com, and you can go to teepublic.com. Search Delphin Pod, buy a shirt, buy some merch. It supports us as well. teepublic.com. Look for Delphin Pod. But cool. All right. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Adios.